Wow, Harm is super prepared. Okay, so here's what Harm says. Regarding the vehicle, this is, Harm, you have been taking action. Well done. Well done. Okay, like, starts with number 8. Like, this is cool. Okay, so let's go through it. Okay, pensions and AOW, need to find out what that is, are sufficient for my old age. Okay, funds and insurance is sufficient. Harmony wants to give me advice to become richer myself. I better put my money into my business than I'm going to have to invest it, right? I have to work harder, but at least I have control over it myself. I better buy a house. That is a smarter investment. I don't need you. I can do it better. I can outsource it better. Okay. I prefer submit monthly and prefer passive investing. I prefer to spend money directly and give it to my children. Okay. The vehicle. Vu says the vehicle is, I want to teach people how to do webinars. So I could read books instead. Webinars could be more expensive. I could join a workshop. Workshop could get more support from a teacher. Okay, great. Okay, so let's talk about the vehicle. Okay, so these are different ways to help you get clarity on what the objections are. Okay, you need to understand, like, this is, it begins with this. You need to know all these different objections, because ultimately these are all talking points for you. These are all going to be talking points for you in the webinar. So list it down, like at least 3 things, 5 things. Notice that what I'm saying here, okay, this is exactly how I built up my entire offer page. My entire offer page is answering objections. Is this the end of webinars forever? Right? And then my entire story is, you know, and then this thing came along. It was called webinar. People started creating these things. So my entire thing, I am killing objections. I wrote down all of the different objections people have, okay, when it comes to running a live event. And my entire page is scattered with answering objections, okay, and selling the main vehicle. Okay, so notice when people think about live events, notice my languaging. Okay, I'm going to use this example. They think of 3 things. It's expensive, it's a lot of work. Live events are for extroverted people, right? So notice I don't know where to start. So Harm, just like what you posted here, I want you to kind of notice like the end result. The end result is you're actually going to be using these things as talking points either in your sales page, your sales videos, or your webinar, okay? But ultimately, this entire session is to build up your webinar funnel. And you know that these are going to be talking points, okay? Emmanuel basically says online fitness coaching, okay? Training is more efficient face-to-face, 100%, right? People will be thinking that, like, why should I take online coaching when I go to the gym and get a trainer? Right? I'm not motivated enough to train without a trainer. I prefer to exercise with friends, okay? Very, very legit, okay? Super legit, okay? So once you start listing down these different objections on the vehicle, the next thing you're going to do is, wait, guys, as you notice, I get distracted very easily. So when you are sending me messages here on Zoom, it's hard for me to read and talk at the same time. But yes, if you are not in the group, please message Marcus, who is on this call as well, and he'll make sure that it's in the group. But again, oh, there it is. Emmanuel has posted the group. Thank you, Emmanuel. Okay, so that's the first piece, okay? So vehicle. You know what number 2 is? You've heard me say this over and over and over and over again. Okay, it all connects to each other. Number 2 is internal, right? Limiting beliefs. Okay, so what are their limiting beliefs? So notice for running live events, I'm putting in the internal limiting beliefs is things like, I don't have the money to do a live event. I'm not a speaker. I'm introverted, right? Limiting beliefs about themselves and their inability to execute. Okay, so that's number 2. I want you to list down now the different objections and considerations people have about themselves. Right? This is the time to get clear, because ultimately, I want you to know that this list over here is what will determine the emails you send out later. This list over here will determine how you write your Facebook ads. This list over here will determine everything. The messaging, if you repurpose that into a sales letter, it goes in there, right? Into your slide deck, all of it. So it begins with this. Remember, what separates top closers and speakers and marketers is that everything they communicate across is not teaching for the sake of teaching, but by answering objections. Okay, objections. And this second piece is the biggest piece, which is maybe you can do it, but I can't do it because I'm not like you. I don't have that superpower, right? I'm too old to do this. I'm too young to do this. I don't have the capital. I don't have the technical skills. I don't have know-how. I don't have the experience. You need to decide what are the different objections and considerations people have when it comes to their own self-limiting beliefs. What are they? Same thing over here. I would like you to take what you have written down and put it in the Facebook group so that I will be able to see it. And at the same time, if you have any questions, please post it in the group as well, because this is the place that I'm going to be reading your questions. Okay, Harm says, if you're born for a dime, you will never become a quarter. Okay, very deep. You have to be very smart. You must have a lot of money. You must be successful. You must know all of the lingo. Investment takes time. Investing generates stress. I don't know how to start. Investing is complex. I don't know how to make a return because of low interest. I do not invest in something I do not understand 100%. Great. Investing is only for rich thinkers, rich people. Investing is for only long term, and I cannot wait so long. Okay. Lie on vehicle, education about crypto. That's the vehicle. I can get free information by watching free videos. Great. All right. It's too risky. It's just a fad. The government will ban. I like this one. Okay. Is it too late to enter? There's a lot of, okay, great. I can see that you guys are getting a lot of clarity. Okay. Emmanuel, limiting beliefs. I don't know how to use weights in the gym. I've tried and failed so many times to lose weight. I'm too old to use weights. Okay. Internal objection when it comes to cryptocurrency. No money invest. Not knowledgeable enough. Safer to invest in bank. Right? Risk averse. Okay. Very nice. Once you have gotten clarity on number 2, it's time to move on to number 3, the external. External is basically excuses, right? What are the different excuses the market would have after they believe in the vehicle? After they believe that they can do it, what other excuses can they think of? Right? So if a person believes that live events is lucrative, and they believe, yes, I think live events is the way for me to build and scale my business next. Yes, I believe that I can do it, and now I have the confidence to do it. Oh, but here's why I don't need event codex. I don't need event codex because here's why event codex still won't work. It won't work because, right? What are the different excuses that people would have when it comes to running live events? Okay, so for me, I know external would be like, I will need event planners. Okay, excuses would be like, I still haven't launched my funnels yet. maybe I should do that first. Okay. I don't have the time, right? Other excuses. I don't have the time to do an event or to commit to an event. Okay, so what are the different excuses? These are just different things that I know I will need to address on my page. I know that based on the excuses, these would be the different bonuses I will need to create to answer these objections. Okay, so I know that if you take a look at my bonuses inside Event Codex, everything that I have created in here is to answer some sort of excuse. Like, you know what this bonus is? My Facebook marketing checklist and swipe file for campaigns. It would be, right? Over here, it is basically, even if I knew how to speak at an event, I don't know how to fill an event, right? I don't know how to fill an event using social media. I don't know Facebook. Okay, I don't know what to teach. Right? All these are just different excuses that people might come up with on not executing it. Okay, so notice that eventually I'm trying to link the end result with step number one. Okay, I am linking, like, I don't know how to handle logistics. Okay, so I have no experience in logistics. So ultimately what I'm doing here is, rather than, notice what most people try to do. Most people, when they create an offer, when they create a webinar funnel, they try to, like, here's what most people do, right? So they want to create this offer, and then they sit down and then they say, I wonder what I should say in my offer page. I wonder what I should say in my webinar funnel. That should not be the case. It should be always beginning with the end in mind. When you are able to understand all of the different objections, that's how you create the webinar slide deck. That's how you create the Facebook ads. That's how you create the emails. Okay, so I would like you right now, same thing as before. Okay, I want to be able to see your answers. So take the external excuses, okay, and I would like you to put it in the chat, okay, so that I can see it. And then after that, we will go through them. Okay, so this is basically step number one. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is, and I can see that, you guys are getting a lot of clarity on this. Okay, Clara, let's go through your 3 things. Clara's main vehicle. I can figure out how to build a business without changing my lifestyle by using free content that's available. Okay, so notice a pattern here, right? You would notice that nearly all markets, the consideration is, why don't I just learn this for free? Notice this, okay? So guys, this is for you. Notice that this can be applied for investing. This can be applied for e-commerce. This can be applied for drop shipping. This can be applied for fitness. Nearly every person's objection is, okay, why don't I just learn it for free? Okay, so this is a great objection. So you know that in your offer page, on your webinar slide deck, you need to be able to answer that question, which I will show you how. But you need to know what those objections are first. Okay, internal. I do not have to change my lifestyle to create a business that will help me get an extra 6 to 8 hours for myself. Okay. An external would be, there are other investment opportunities for me, such as stocks, bonds, cryptocurrency, without me having to change my lifestyle and going through a struggle of learning, actually putting up a business. Okay. External. Okay. Excuses. Kiko, online seminar. There is less correct know-how or less information about blind makeup. Blind people never think that they can make up themselves beautifully. Kiko, I'll need you to elaborate on this. I do not remember what your market is. Can you please let me know what is your vehicle? If I'm not mistaken, okay, so online seminar, unless you're teaching people how to do an online seminar, I think you're talking about how you intend to deliver it, okay? So right now, it's not about your method of delivery. I want to know what I say by vehicle is, what is the vehicle that you're proposing to them? Okay, so is it makeup? Right? Kiko, let me just unmute you for a sec. Have to explain what you mean by your vehicle.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Wearing makeup. Okay. Can I?
Yes,
hear my
go ahead.
voice? Okay. Brain makeup I'm learning that right now, and I researched the brain makeup through the internet, and there is a founder is a Japanese lady, and then that method is going to explore to the right now in Korea and China, not Europe. And then blind people, the people who cannot see everything.
Okay.
But they want to make up and they want to be beautiful.
I see.
With makeup. So vehicle is like, I think it's the what device. It's a no. I am not correct. My standing is correct. Vehicle. Could you explain the vehicle more?
The vehicle is the thing that you are proposing to them.
Proposing to them is an online seminar is not.
So an online seminar is pretty much what everybody's doing, right? Everybody's vehicle. So like a webinar, that's like an online seminar. It could be a membership site. So right now that's not what I mean by vehicle. What I mean by the vehicle is, so for you, from what I hear, is your vehicle is makeup, and you want to, particularly, you want to target people that is blind. Is that correct?
Or I want to make that like a trainer, blind makeup trainer.
I see. I just want to make sure I'm correct. So you want to teach people who are blind how to do makeup. Is that correct?
Yes, and then that means more man-to-man.
Need more what, sorry?
Like a man-to-man, one customer to one teacher. It's like, how can I say? One-to-one.
Okay, one-to-one.
Okay. Man-to-man.
Month to month.
No. It's one person can teach one person.
I see. So it's like one-on-one.
One-on-one, right. And then if I teach, if I make a trainer, if I grow a trainer or trainer.
Okay. So here's the thing, okay, guys. What I want to say first here, in this section, you need to be clear on, and that's exactly what this exercise is for. First of all, the vehicle. So the vehicle for me is, I'm showing people live events is the thing to be doing, okay? And I know that my live events is the vehicle to help people to scale their businesses. So that's the vehicle that I'm proposing to them. So I believe from what you're saying, your vehicle is makeup. Now, who you choose to target, we'll talk about later. It's not in the context of this right now, okay? But we need to know. But if you know that the market you want to target is for people that's blind, now that's very, very niche, and that's very noble of you, okay?
Yes.
So which is great, okay? what needs to happen next then, okay, is you need to list down, okay, so that would be the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Then the internal would be for somebody, like, you need to think about, like, if somebody's blind,
Mm-hmm.
what would be the objections they would have on taking up on your offer? Okay, so you need to know that, and that's what this session is for, is you need to think about, why would somebody not want to take me up on my offer?
Oh.
What would be their objections about the vehicle? So what would be the objections about the vehicle? Would be, number one, I can't see if I am even beautiful or not with this makeup. I would say that's the most obvious, biggest objection, right? If I can't see how I look, how do I know that this thing looks good on me or not? So that would be the objection of your vehicle. Why? Because your objection, your vehicle's makeup.
Oh, yeah.
And the objection about the vehicle would be, how do I know that makeup is good for me when I can't even see if it's good for me?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So you know, so that means, and guys, notice like what I'm doing here. This is to kind of show you how to link the end product and messaging with this. Okay, so that means you will know that when you create your webinar, in your webinar you would say something like, so you're probably thinking, if I can't see, how do I know that the makeup that's on my face looks good? And that's when you'll say something like, you'll know because the people around you, you know, will give you feedback and tell you that you look amazing. Something like that. What I'm saying is, okay, so notice the purpose of this exercise. The purpose of this exercise is when you're able to list down all the different objections, when you start doing your presentation, the person that's listening to you would be like, this person is reading my mind. This person knows exactly what I'm thinking. Okay, so that is the objection on a vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Objection internally would be something along the lines of, I can't see, and right now my life has got a lot of really important things that I'm not even really handling right now. The priority for me to look good may not be the highest of my priorities. Okay, I've got my kids to take care of. I've got all these other things going on in my life, right? So makeup for me is, so the objection internally, one of them would be, makeup is not high on my priority right now, right? That would be another objection internally, because, and if you're able to write that down, it means that you know that on your webinar, on your sales page, on your sales video, you'll need to say, so you're probably thinking, being a blind person, what is the point? What, you probably have a lot more important things that needs to be handled in your life. And makeup is probably really low on the priority list. But here's why it's actually important. It's important because you need to know that you're surrounded by loved ones, people who care about you, people who want to take care of you. And if they can see that you are taking care of yourself by even wanting to do makeup, you're actually making the people around you feel better as well. And that's why makeup is actually important and will add a lot of value in your life, even though you can't see it. It's important because other people around you that matter to you feel it. And that's why it's important. Okay. So notice that what I'm doing here, guys, I'm crafting, you'll be able to craft your message a lot more powerful when you know what those objections are.
Oh, thank you very much.
Kiko, so basically that's what you need to work on, right? I want you to really think like, and this is not for Kiko, this is for all you guys. The purpose of this is to be able to think like your audience, right? And I'm not kidding. So like what I would do really to put myself in their shoes, I would blindfold myself and just sit down there and just imagine that I'm a blind person right now. And obviously you might get the feeling, maybe, I don't know, after like 1 hour in, and just really do the exercise and think about, if I'm blind right now, what would I feel about makeup? right? Then when you can start, unless you have a friend that's buying, you can talk to that person to really think how they feel and think about makeup. Because when we are able to do that, that's when we can communicate to them at the core level, at the deepest level in here.
Thank
Okay,
you so
make
much.
sense?
Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks, Kiko. Okay, so think like your audience. That's the premise of this session over here. Okay, Jason, the vehicle is being an influencer celebrities. How can I apply this to financial advisors? I prefer face-to-face. How will being an influencer help me generate leads? I'm too shy, I'm not good looking, I'm an introvert. I fear critics, I'm too old, I'm not tech savvy. I don't know what to post. Great. I don't have time to create content. I need to follow my company policy. I don't know how to grow following. I don't know how to drive traffic. I'm still new in the business. Okay, good. So as you start thinking about all these different things, we need to know that this will ultimately shape our presentation later on. Okay, so all these different things, this entire exercise, okay, this entire exercise here is to start helping you shape how your audience feels and thinks. Because if you can understand your audience, the reason why I can create compelling offers is I always put myself in the shoes of my audience. It begins with that. If you know their struggles, their pains, their challenges, their objections about the vehicle, internal and external, that's all it is when it comes to creating a great offer. Because that's how you create an offer that matches the thing that you're saying. So my entire $2,000 offer, right, teaching people how to create events, is all based on the things that I wrote down. Okay, the tools, the action guides. What the action guide? What objection does it answer? It's like, I don't know what to do. I need somebody to tell me step by step, right? Fill my event swipe file. I don't know how to get people to come to my rooms. Okay, I don't understand Facebook, right? So all these different bonuses, I created it because it answers an objection. I don't just sit down thinking, what should I give my audience? Okay. Once you're able to list down all of your different objections, that is when you'll be able to serve your audience.